Hello everyone. Today I have a pretty interesting idea. I'm going to try turning these old components, which seem useless, into a device that can actually work. Let's see what the final result will look like. First, I strip the insulation from the ends of the two wires connected to the capacitor to expose the copper cores inside. This prepares them for the electrical connections in the next steps. In the next step, I create a new solder joint on the body of the screw. This solder joint will act as a contact point to transfer electricity from the capacitor to the other parts of the system. After that, I solder one wire from the capacitor to the solder joint on the screw. Next, I secure the remaining wire to the second screw. Once finished, these two screws will become the main electrical contact points for the device I'm building. The device I'm building is an antenna, so I will use a magnet as the central connection part of the antenna. First, I wrap two copper rods around the magnet. These copper rods will act as signal paths and help connect the receiving parts together. Let me know where you are watching this video from. Don't forget to comment the country you are currently living in down below. I'm really curious to see which parts of the world my videos are being watched from. Next, I use a wooden piece as the base for the antenna. First, I apply hot glue and secure the capacitor to one side of the wooden base. This helps keep the signal component stable and makes the overall structure stronger. In the next step, I attach the magnet to the center of the wooden base. After that, I place the two metal screws connected to the capacitor standing upright on top of the magnet. This design creates two main contact points for transferring the signal to the receiving part. Next, I apply glue and attach two rubber pads to the tops of the screws. These rubber pads will act as supports to hold the signal dish above. In the next step, I use a soda can to create the signal receiving dish. First, I drill a hole in the center of the can's bottom. This hole will be used to mount the signal dish onto the antenna frame. Next, I sand down the bottom of the can using sandpaper. After sanding, I get a round metal disc like this. Next, I use a TV splitter as the connection part between the antenna and the TV. This component will act as the signal transfer point from the antenna to the connection cable, helping the signal reach the TV more stably. First, I cut off the extra copper rod remaining on the magnet to adjust the size for proper assembly. After that, I connect the 2 copper rods on a magnet to the 2 connection ports of the TV splitter. These 2 connection points will allow the signal from the receiving section to be transferred directly into the signal cable system. Next, I apply hot glue to secure the TV splitter onto the wooden base. After that, I install the homemade metal dish on top of the screws. This dish will act as a reflector to focus the signal toward the center of the antenna. At this point, the homemade antenna is complete. Now, I use a signal cable as the connection wire between the antenna and the TV. First, I strip the outer insulation from one end of the cable to create a connector. Next, I attach an F5 connector to that end of the cable. Then, I wrap electrical tape around the connection to secure and protect it. Next, I strip the outer insulation from the other end of the cable. After that, I attach this end to the TV connector jack so it can be plugged into the TV signal port. Finally, I connect the signal cable jack to the antenna's connection port. With that, the homemade antenna made from an old Wi-Fi modem is finally complete. Now, I'm going to test it in real-world conditions to see how effective it really is. First, I'll switch to a TV channel to check the signal reception without connecting the antenna. As you can see, without the antenna connected, the TV only displays the message, no signal. Next, I'll connect the DIY antenna to the signal input on the back of the TV for the actual test. And here is the result. Almost immediately after connecting the antenna, the TV channels begin to appear. To make the test more convincing, I'll perform one more experiment. I disconnect the antenna from the TV and observe the signal changes. As soon as the antenna is unplugged, the screen instantly returns to the no signal message. Now, I'll reconnect the antenna once again. As you can see, within just a few seconds, the channels reappear and continue working normally. If you enjoyed this project or found it helpful, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video.